Hey YouTube family, it's Sarah, and it is my week 68 post-op update out from VSG or vertical sleeve gastrectomy weight loss surgery, which I had November 30th, 2012 in Mexicali, Mexico with Dr. Aceves. First, before I talk about anything else, I have to apologize. I did not get a chance to make my Tuesday video this week, the third part of my Q&A videos. It's been sort of a rough week in a bunch of ways, so I'll talk about that a little bit later, but I just didn't get a chance. Wasn't really feeling up to it. So I apologize about that, but I will be doing that this coming Tuesday. And also I want to just thank everyone who commented and private messaged me about my Friday video last week. Everybody had really great advice and suggestions and thought-provoking things to say, and I just really appreciate the support that I get from this community. I mean, it's hard to explain, you know, how nice it is to just have people say that they understand, or to give you heartfelt advice, or just support and just say, you know, you can do it, just cheer you on. So, yeah, I want to thank everyone for that. So I should probably do the numbers. So my highest weight was 460, surgery day weight 420. Last week I was 221.5, and today I weighed in at 218.2. That's a loss of 3.3 pounds for this week, but it is about a pound, 1.2 pounds down from my lowest weight before that. So yes, it was technically a big loss this week, but I think a lot of that was probably water weight, because I felt like there was no reason why I had gained weight the last 2 weeks. So it might have been from extra sodium, or who knows? I don't know. Lady time was involved in there somehow as well. I did change my eating this week, so I'll talk a little bit about that. I know there were a couple people who suggested that maybe carb cycling had something to do with the weight gain over the couple of weeks, and the carb cravings. I mean, I definitely know that the fact that it was lady time had something to do with it. My PMS overall has gotten much worse since I had surgery, which is a good thing, because it means that, you know, hormones are working and all of that. But at the time, it is not very pleasant. I do think that a lot of my carb cravings and all that had to do more with that and less with the carb cycling. But what I decided to do was just discontinue carb cycling for the next month or so, maybe 2 months, just to kind of get back to a place where I'm comfortable with how I'm eating, and then try it again and see what the difference is. I think that's the only way of really sort of figuring out whether it's going to work for me or not. So I'm in no way giving up on carb cycling at all. It's still something that I want to continue to try, but I just think for right now what I need to do is just go back to sort of the basics. So this week I've kind of been doing, I'm not like super basics, but close to it. So basically I've pretty much been doing low carb, so 30 to 40 grams of carb a day. That's net carbs. Sorry, that's not net carbs, that's gross carbs. So that's all the carbs and everything. So 30 to 40 overall is still pretty low. And I've basically been having, you know, chicken, yogurt, cheese, eggs. That's about it. That's pretty much what I've been, coffee. That's pretty much what I've been having, and protein shakes as well. So yeah, that's basically been what I've been doing. And to be honest, when I go back to that and only that, I always tend to lose weight. So it works. You know, going along with that, I've been, sorry, I'm just checking my notes. I don't want to forget about anything. Going along with that, I've been going shopping, trying to buy some clothes and stuff for my trip to Tampa and my cruise, because last summer I was a radically different size than this summer, so I don't really have much that I can wear that's summery for warm weather. So I've been trying to do some shopping, and that's been a bit of an eye-opener, because although I haven't lost a lot of weight in the last month or two, I've definitely noticed like my pants getting looser and, you know, all of that sort of thing happening. So I know everyone says, you know, when you don't lose weight on the scale, you lose inches. And that does seem to be the case for me. I'm now pretty much a regular size, probably 16. and a plus size 14. I would say in most stores, that's the way it is. I'm sort of like a large, extra large shirt, extra large to double XL, like in pants that aren't sized. Sized pants, I'm probably like a 14, 16 women's or 16, 18, but I'm tending towards those lower sizes now. I bought my very first pair of Mrs. sized jeans in a regular size store. I was at Maurice's and I bought a pair of size 15, 16 jeans. And that was the very first time I had actually bought jeans in a regular size store. Well, it was the very first time I personally had ever bought them, because the last time I probably would fit into a size like that, I was probably like 12 or 13, and I wasn't buying my own clothes. So maybe even younger than that. So that was kind of a little bit emotional for me. I'm still trying to learn how to shop in regular size stores. I still feel like an intruder when I go in there. I don't feel like I belong. It's a really hard sort of mental thing to get over. And like I said, I am going to make a video probably this week upcoming, sort of a part 2 about fashion after weight loss surgery, and just talk a little bit about my experiences with clothing and sizes and all that sort of stuff. So, but yeah, so that happened. What else? There was something else I wanted to talk about. Oh well, that's what happens when you make really few notes. I don't want to kind of give this all away, because it's something I'm going to talk about in my Tampa video that I've been promising, talking about my approach to Tampa and kind of how things are different with this trip. Mike made a comment on my last video, and Mike, I just want to let you know I am going to actually talk about the stuff that you brought up in that video, so thank you for that comment, because there was a bunch of things that I wanted to sort of talk about, so I will talk about that, which has to do with like drinking and being a role model in the community and all this stuff. So that is coming in, that'll be not next Tuesday's video, but the Tuesday after, which will probably be the last video that I make before Tampa, so stay tuned for that. But part of what I'm going to talk about that in that video is that I have been, I guess, thinking about the big picture. And this is nothing new. You guys have heard me talk about this for a while now, talking about, you know, where I'm going to be comfortable with my body, where my goals should be, whether I should be aggressively trying to lose weight right now or just kind of, you know, seeing what happens, seeing where my body is comfortable. And it affects everything, you know, it affects how I eat on a daily basis, my calorie totals, what I'm trying to do with carbs and all that stuff. And I've had a hard time, you know, trying to figure out where I'm supposed to be right now. I'm still in weight loss mode, but it's very different from when I started. And I'm not quite in maintenance, but I'm trying to like transition into something that might work for me in maintenance. So it's an odd place to be. And you know, I've said the weight on the scale, it doesn't matter as much to me, and I've been thinking about the big picture and long term and all of that stuff. And I mean, that's why I did this. I didn't do it to be a certain number on the scale, and I have to remind myself of that constantly. I constantly have to remind myself of that it doesn't matter if I weigh under 200 pounds or if, you know, I look at it this way. You know, I'm back under 220 solidly now, so I'm hoping that'll stay that way. But you know, whether I weigh 218 or 208 or 198, is a 20-pound difference even going to affect my life in general? Not really. You know, it really isn't. At this point, it's about my health and about my fitness and about my family and about the things that I can do now that I couldn't do before. The number on the scale doesn't matter. And so, you know, and as much as I'd like to just let it go and say I don't care at all, I mean, it's me and I do care, and I do want to see that 199 just one time on the scale. And I know people have said, you know, Sarah, you have excess skin. You got to understand that, you know, is making a difference. And I do understand that. And I had an experience yesterday where I've been saying I've been having like fat weeks the last few weeks where I'm not happy with the way I look. And I went to Target and they had some dresses that were on clearance, and I tried on a couple, and I tried on this black, very fitted, sleeveless dress, and I put it on, and from the front, except for my arms, but I was like, wow, you know, until I turned sideways and I looked at my saggy boobs and my rolls and my belly and all of that. And then I was like, oh. I realized that, and I don't know whether anyone's going to quite understand this. You might. I'm not upset and I'm not unhappy with the size of my body right now. What I'm unhappy about is the way my body looks even in clothes. And that's the excess skin, the rolls, the arm, bat wings, all of that stuff. But my size, the size of my body, I'm totally fine with that. I'm, like I've said before, not small. I'm not a tiny girl. I have a big frame. I'm always going to be big, and I'm okay with that. And I accepted that a long time ago. So my size, the width of my body, the shape of my body even, I'm cool with that. But it's the excess skin that is really bothering me. And it was sort of cathartic to pinpoint what was upsetting me about how I looked. That it wasn't that I felt fat. That it wasn't that I felt huge. It was that I didn't like how that skin fits in my clothes. I don't like how that skin makes me look. It's not that I feel like I'm unattractive necessarily or whatever. Yeah. So I guess what I'm trying to say is it's not that it didn't bother me before, but now it's the thing that's probably bothering me the most. And it also makes it difficult to fit into clothes because I think when you're in the bigger sizes, in plus sizes, the clothing is more forgiving just naturally. They use stretchier fabrics and the armholes are bigger and all this stuff that's done in plus size clothes to make you more comfortable. When you suddenly transition to not plus size clothes, you realize that that is not the case with those clothes. So, I'll have issues getting my arms where I have all this excess bat wing area in a shirt, or my thighs in a pair of pants because of all this excess skin. Or, I definitely could wear a smaller pant size if I didn't have all this huge, apron and all of that. So I guess I got to the point where I realized that where I'm at now is less about seeing the scale go down and more about trying to shape my body into what it needs to be. And I know that that is not just about me, that I need to pursue plastics, which I am, although I'm actually holding off probably until I would say the end of next year. I'm guessing it will be the fall of 2015 before I have surgery. That's important to me. I want to be at a stable weight. I want to work on my body, on my musculature underneath that skin and fat that remains because I want to have the best results possible from my surgery. I'm not expecting miracles, but I want to do my best to help out the surgeon do his best work. And I want to see just kind of how things fall out after, a time, hopefully at a stable weight. So yeah, I've realized, the number on the scale isn't the most important thing to me anymore. And I know that that is not going to drastically suddenly improve my life if I wake up tomorrow and I'm 190. So I feel much more positive about the journey, my body, and all of those things, and where I'm headed, I guess. And I'm not still 100% sure on how to get there, but I have a much clearer idea, and I feel more comfortable with where I'm at mentally with all that stuff. So again, I want to thank you guys who helped me kind of get there and work through that in my head. So yeah, I have some really exciting news. Oh my God, I'm going to be that person that says, oh my God, I have something exciting, but I can't tell you yet. So I have something really exciting to share with you that has to do with the weight loss community. But I can't share it quite yet because it's not like officially official. So, but I promise I will share it as soon as I can. But I'm really excited to let you guys in on it. So yeah, I guess that's it for this week, I think. Let me consult my notes here. Yeah, pretty much. And I'm almost at 15 minutes anyway. So, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. And I promise, see you guys on Tuesday. Have a great week.